Madam President, I rise today to once again call attention to the growing and unprecedented crisis at our southern border. This crisis is the result of the Biden administration's open border policy. It's a function of the Biden administration's failure to secure the border and enforce our laws. In fiscal year 2022, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, encountered almost 2.4 million individuals attempting to illegally cross the southern border. That was an increase of 37% from fiscal year 2021 and a more than 400% increase from fiscal year 2020. In the first 6 months of fiscal year 2023, Customs and Border Protection has already encountered more than 1.5 million individuals, a pace that will surpass even the record numbers of last year. Now, with Title 42 public health order set to expire next week, it's only getting worse. Take a look. Anybody can turn on their television and check it out. It's only getting worse. In response to the expected surge of illegal crossings, the Biden administration announced that they're going to send 1,500 troops to the southern border to help with paperwork. Well, it's good that they're sending the troops down there, but without a change in the policy, it's not going to get the job done. They're not able to do the job that they can do and need to do. The Customs and Border Protection officers and agents on the front lines do the best job possible, but they face an impossible task given the Biden administration's actions that continue to exacerbate the crisis. The Biden administration's open border policy. I've seen firsthand the work of these dedicated individuals, including members of the North Dakota National Guard, my home state, who've traveled down to Texas, and I've traveled down to Texas on numerous occasions to draw attention to the border crisis. I've been to Del Rio, I've been to Eagle Pass, I've been to El Paso, and the Rio Grande Valley. In each of these border towns, it is clear, now more than ever, that more needs to be done. And it's not just stopping illegal migration, it's preventing human trafficking and also to prevent the drug trafficking. This affects every state in our country. I also traveled with a bipartisan congressional delegation to Mexico, to Ecuador, to Colombia, and to Guatemala to outline the need to work with these nations to stop illegal immigration, drug trafficking, human trafficking, to prevent these problems. These are all part of our efforts to draw attention to the problem and outline solutions that will stem the tide of illegal immigration. To stop the crisis, the Biden administration has to change its policy. It has to change its policy. And there are several things that can be done right now to make that happen. First, the Biden administration needs to implement the Migrant Protection Protocols, or the Remain in Mexico policy, which required people seeking asylum at our southern border to wait in Mexico while their case is adjudicated. Second, reinstate the Safe Third Country Agreement, which requires that individuals coming from places like El Salvador or Honduras, Guatemala, that they seek asylum in their own country first, or they are returned to their country to await the outcome of their claim. Now, Title 42 expires on May 11th. Border is already in crisis, and it will just get worse. But the reality is, if those two policies are reinstated, then the Customs and Border Protection professionals can get on top of the problem. In other words, let them do their job. Put in place border policies that will enable our Customs and Border Protection professionals to do their job. It's been shown that those policies will work. I just gave you the numbers going back to 2020. We're not guessing on this. We're not guessing. We know it works. Those two policy changes will enable our Customs and Border Protection professionals to get control of the border. And with Title 42 expiring on May 11th, they need to be implemented now. We have to do more. We need a border wall, we need personnel, we need technology. All those things need to be part of creating a secure border. But right now, particularly with Title 42 expiring, we need to implement those two policy changes and enable our Customs and Border Protection professionals to do their job. Border security is national security. With that, Madam President, I yield the floor.